To go back, I
We're
think we're good to go.
Brilliant.
Yes,
Derek, what's kept you? As we've been saying, you've been spending all morning down there in Glasnevin. You're keeping us waiting.
Absolutely. Yes, from that small Cheltenham Gold Cup to the largest seed on the planet, we're learning so much here at the National Botanic Gardens in Glasnevin in Dublin. Dr. Matthew Jedd is with us. Good morning to you, Dr. Matthew.
Good morning, Derek.
Matthew, you were telling me that the National Botanical Gardens, they were a bit back in the 1840s.
Well, we opened 1795, an early start to the existence of the gardens.
Who built them?
They were built by the Dublin Society, as was then known, now Royal Dublin Society, and the government took it over in the 1870s.
Tell us about the vast array of plants that you have here now.
Well, we grow probably in excess of 20,000 different species and varieties of plants here in Glasnevin. And we also have another garden down in Wicklow, Kilmacurra. So between us, we hold an incredible collection of living plants.
And I mean some really rare plants as well, right?
Oh, yes. I mean, some of the plants we've got in the collection are either extinct in the wild or right on the cusp of extinction. So, you know, one of our sort of missions in life is to act as a Noah's Ark for plants.
So in terms of the temperature, what they're stored at here, you were actually telling me, I was expecting it to be really warm in here, but it's actually not.
It's not too hot. These houses are kept at a cool temperature. They're temperate houses. So as long as it's not frosted, all of these plants around us are quite happy. Many of them grow in the mountains of the tropics where they'll get cooler temperatures anyway.
Now, moving on to the biggest seed on the planet, and this got me very excited earlier on because this is quite a rare plant. Tell us about this seed.
Well, this is the coco de mer, an astonishing palm tree from the Seychelles Islands in the Indian Ocean. When the French first came upon these seeds, they were told that they'd been found floating in the ocean, and that's why they called them coconuts of the sea. But this is a ruse because they actually sink in seawater. They're so dense in weight. So they come from the Seychelles, and their origin was carefully protected by people who knew their value. Maharajas in India would pay for these in their weight in gold.
And quite a rare plant as well, right?
It's very rare. It's just in a single little grove of trees, and that little forest is heavily protected because people desire that seed more than anything else.
And you keep that one in your office?
I keep that one in my office.
So we got a sneak peek here this morning,
Exactly.
which is great to see. Now we're moving on to our next plant here this morning. Talk us and tell us about this one.
Well, this is a plant that is very dear to my heart because this is an ant plant. In this huge tuberous base, there are little cavities in which a colony of ants would live in the wild. These plants, we call them epiphytes. Do you see it's grown on a block of cork bark? And in the wild, they grow on the trees. They don't take any nutrients from the tree. They rely upon this colony of ants to scour the locale for dead insects, bring them back and build compost heaps.
And he said this bulb can grow to the size of a basketball.
It'll grow to an enormous size,
wow.
Literally to a weight where it rips itself off the tree. So this produces little flowers and fruits like any plant would, but that tuberous base is the secret of its success.
You did your PhD on that?
I did indeed. And that was, part of my introduction to the naming of plants, which has been a thrilling part of my career.
Which actually you've named a couple of plants, including this one.
So this is a group of plants from Southeast Asia. We refer to them as pitcher plants. And you can see they have truly extraordinary leaves that have evolved like little pitfall traps. They're full of water, and insects drop in, drown, and are actually digested by the plant. And in Malaysia, one of the things they say is, if you encounter this plant and you were to cause the water to spill out of it, you will be caught by a rainstorm before you get home. So people are always nervous about it. But it's an example of a group from Southeast Asia, some very, very rare, some widespread. But naming these and knowing about them is something that here in the National Botanic Gardens, this is one of our sort of missions in life. So the Office of Public Works has now become, equally fascinated by biodiversity. It's an important part of our lives, all of us. And here is an Irish plant.
Yeah, one of the rarest plants in the country.
There are only 12 plants still growing down in County Wexford of this species.
Wow.
So it's on the cusp of extinction. And what we've done is we've got cuttings of every one of those wild plants, and we grow them in our nursery here. It's called the sea cottonweed, and it's important for us to be able to essentially return that to the wild should the occasion come about.
We're going to finish off with one of the deadliest plants in the world. What is it?
Literally the deadliest plant on Earth. This is a plant that kills 15 million human beings every year.
Any guesses? It's the sugarcane.
Everybody's been eating it this morning, probably.
Wow.
Sugar is not a food. It's not good for us, but nonetheless, we desire it greatly.
You do tours here right across the
We
weekend.
do
into the
regular
weekend.
tours, so we're concentrated on education and tours of the gardens. You can hear all about these glass houses on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 2 o'clock. And we also have tours at 11:30, 3 o'clock outdoors. So book one.
We have learned so much here this morning. There you have it, guys. The deadliest plant on the planet, sugarcane. Who knew? Botanicgardens.ie for more information. But for now, back to you in studio. That's incredible.
Thank you,
That
Derek.
was incredible. Whenever he said the most dangerous plant
No.
that kills 15 million, I was like, what is
What
this?
is it?
No, what is it?
Why is it in
Sugar.
the botanical gardens?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have it
There
there.
you go.
Thank you, Derek.